Hello everybody, Ollamh here, and welcome back to The Lost Cases of Sherlock Holmes. So we're finishing up our first row, the top shelf today, with the Curse of Hotep? I'm not sure, I don't speak Egyptian. But yes, obviously it's an Egyptian curse of some sort, which is fairly common, and I know there have been a couple different Sherlock Holmes games that have dealt with, like, Egyptian curses and stuff like that. I remember one from way back that was, like, one of the first times that they used, like, an FMV video game where it was, like, they had people like on a green screen doing certain things, and it was very select quotes and stuff like that. So let's jump into this one and see what it has. With the Egyptian wing of the British Museum, within the Egyptian wing of the British Museum, Dr. Lawrence Carstairs was discovered insane with fear and repeating the words Anan Hotep, the name of the mummy laid out on his slab. Who or what struck down the curious archaeologist? 30-minute time limit, so that's bumped up a bit.
Lord Cavendish, are you honestly telling us that your colleague, the eminent archaeologist Dr. Carstairs, was struck insane by a 3,000-year-old mummy's curse here within the British Museum?
I say only that Lawrence Carstairs was found on the floor of his study laboratory within the Egyptian wing, found babbling and insane with fear. He keeps repeating the words Ananthotep, the name of the mummy laid out on his slab.
What happened to Carstairs that drove him mad while he was studying the mummy? Do you suggest that the curse of Ananthotep, or the rumored 3,000-year-old religion devoted to his return, struck Carstairs down?
Ancient curses, magical cults, bah! Mr. Holmes, I wish desperately to avoid publicity. Carstairs' crackpot theories did enough damage to the exhibit's reputation.
And to the fortune you invested into it.
Right. So, let's see. Is there actually a curse or not? Well, let's see here. There's something there. A cobra. The dreaded Red Nile cobra. Murderous cults used its venom in sacrificial ceremonies. Interesting. There's a scarab. There's a hat. There's a hand. That mummified hand is the symbol of the hated and banished cult of Ananhotep. Some say the cult still exists to this day. Well, people usually say stuff like that, don't they? Oh, there's the other pith helmet. And an ankh. Those pith helmets belong to Elmirin Gwyn, an explorer and adventuress. It was she who first told Carstairs that Ananhotep destroys anyone who disturbs his sleep, according to legend. Scarab. And ankh. I was looking to see if Holmes's cap was in this one, but I do not see it. There's the third scarab. Alright, so we're looking for one more Ankh and something else. I don't know what that something else is. Oh, a dagger. A black dagger, to be specific. So now we just need, what? One more Ankh? And we're good. So yeah, there's definitely some people are trying to scare him. I wouldn't be too surprised if this gal was part of that organization. Those Ankhs came from Egypt's famous Tomb of the Tyrants, delivered here by the museum's mysterious expert in Egyptian mysticism, Ardak Bey. I was gonna say, I'm like, that's it, isn't it? Yep.
Lord Cavenshaw, do show me where Dr. Carstairs was found.
Okay, right. So, Ankhs, daggers, cups, the works. We also should have Holmes's cap here somewhere. Holmes, where did you leave your cap this time? How many caps do you have? That's a good question. I'm not seeing his cap anywhere. The Ankh is the Egyptian symbol for life. Those were a gift to Carstairs by Ardak Bey. It could be a blessing or a warning. I think I may have missed it. I think it may have been actually in the last one. Sure not seen it here anywhere. It seems Carstairs was drinking coffee non-stop. So obsessed, he worked feverishly the past several nights without sleep. So it could be self-inflicted insanity. Is that what you're saying? Those daggers were left behind by Dr. Hornish. He was Carstairs' predecessor at the museum, dispatched from his employment here after a hushed-up scandal. Right. Doesn't have to look like this guy, does he? All right, we need to really scour and see if Holmes's cap is here. Because if not, that means I'm going to have to go back through this again at another time off camera and find it. Because that would indicate that it was actually in the last, the last scene, and I just didn't see it. Probably because it was like half hidden. If indeed it was there at all. I mean, it's got to be in one of the two scenes. But yeah, I'm just not seeing it here. But like I said, it could be like half tucked away behind something. Alright, so 4 brown bottles. Which are different from little brown jugs. Very different from little brown jugs. Dr. Green from the chemistry lab left those bottles here. Okay. That's, nice? I'm not entirely sure. So a coat? Let's ditch the magnifying glass here for a moment. So there's got to be there's a coat here somewhere, but I'm sure as hell not seeing a coat. Oh wait, a lab coat. Those coats belong to Bursley, Carstairs' assistant, who claims to have left the building before the incident occurred. Once jailed for gambling debts, as I recall. Okay, maybe there's a third scene then. Because we've still got 3 people that aren't listed here. Yep, there's a third scene. Alright. Ankhs, cracked pot, bell jars. A cracked pot? Didn't you say Dr. Carstairs... Didn't you call Dr. Carstairs a crackpot, Lord Cavenshaw? Not only me, that's the poor joke from Dr. Leo Volper, a bitter colleague... a bitter colleague who hoped to discover the tomb of Amenhotep before Carstairs. Ah, that's better. Ah. That really high-pitched voice. Ah, there's Holmes's cap. Good. Right, bell jar, bell jar. So a map. More ankhs. A wooden box. Those bell jars contain plant specimens, both exotic and toxic. Watson, do you recall last year the case of the devil's foot root? The African plant whose vapors drove Stoutman insane? So that might be, are you saying there might be a little bit of a connection there? So we've got 1 more ankh, a wooden box, and 3 quills. Wooden box. Boxes like these are usually locked for a reason. Click on the triangles to rotate them, complete the image to unlock. Okay. Right. That was pretty easy. It's a book. It's Dr. Carstairs' journal. The final entry says, although physically and mentally exhausted, I am so close to success. Inside, the answer waits inside. Right. So we're saying that it might actually be a curse? Or at least it might be the mummy itself actually killed him. Which wouldn't be surprising. Alright, so 1 more quill. There we go. So that's everybody. So now we've accumulated all of the suspects. Let's figure it out. Holmes, I've just noticed the parchment that accompany the journal are not exact copies. Take a look. Oh, good grief, there's a lot of crap to this one, isn't there? Okay. So yeah, I was afraid of that. I'm like, well, how are their symbols changed? Because that would be an easy place to change something, which indicates that this may be a forgery. Perhaps Costa's notes say more about this investigation of the curse. About his investigation of the curse. Sorry. Okay, so we need to find... Right. So, bunny rabbit. Hook with that. A dark curse lies at the heart. It all seems very cryptic. I read on this page the plants, they used something in the plants. Strangest of all, the heart coming out or something going in. I must see for myself. Alright, so now we can figure out who did what and stuff. Alright, so suspenders, PhD, jewels, sideburns, yes.
I must say, that was excellent.
Why, thank you, Holmes. Now to eliminate them. Okay, so, right, crackpot, pyramid, coat, right, okay. Got it, I think. You.
Nice work. Nice work. Righto. Yes. Perfect. Nice work. Nice work. Nice work.
Yep. The mummy killed him. It wasn't a curse, I bet. I bet it was like basically a trap in there. Like, they were saying like a poison, you know, the poison is at the heart of the matter or whatever, so I get the feeling that there may have been like a small sack of poison in where the heart cavity was.
Dr. Carstairs' scalpel opened a pod placed in Anantotep's chest 3,000 years ago when he was mummified. The pod expelled a toxic plant derivative. When he opened the pod, he inhaled the toxin.
Its hallucinogenic effect produced his paralyzing fear. His already fatigued state enhanced its potency further to madness.
So, the culprit was, in fact, Ananthotep himself.
with a trap prepared millennia ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we did get the cap. I was gonna say, we did get the cap. All right. So yes, that finishes up the top shelf. Awesome, we're halfway home. We found all the caps. I was worried about that in the last week. It's like, is there, did I just miss it? No, there were actually 3 different scenes, which is new. So yeah, we're definitely rocking along. That one was kind of an old, kind of based in truth, really. A lot of the curses were basically booby traps that were set up in the tombs, in mummies and stuff like that, so that if anybody came in trying to steal the king's wealth or steal from the tomb itself or something like that, they would wind up dying. And a lot of times it was poison, it was hallucinogens, it was things that that people wouldn't think of looking for. So yeah, this one's actually based fairly decently in real life. As always, thank you guys very much for watching, and don't forget to press the subscribe button down below so that you can stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions.
If you wanna see some crazy,
Cheerio.
you should meet me and my friends.
Circa the 23rd century. I'm going to investigate it, and I'd like you to join me. We believe the Nakul are involved, along with a planet killer.
It was horrible. A wee stunted beak, long beak, straggly, flappy wings.
Are you sure it wasn't a wild animal?